Thank you, Mr. Kenneth Hamilton. I'm Dr. Sandra Ayala, professor in the Department of Special Education. Amy, they know you're coming. Amy Atchley grew up in Redlands, California. At 14, she set off to experience life at the Phillips Academy, a distinguished boarding school in Andover, Massachusetts. Amy spent time working in Minnesota before starting college at the University of Oregon and finally graduating with high honors from Davidson Honors College in the University of Montana, Missoula, with a Bachelor of Arts in English and a minor in math. After college, she worked as a teacher at the Hyde School in Maine, using character-based education strategies to help students achieve in school and in life. For the next few years, Amy enjoyed child development directly by staying at home with her son and daughter. She then came to Sonoma State to earn her California State teaching credential in special education. Amy enjoys volunteering for community and education events, and even started an arts and science event for all ages called the River Montessori Creator Fair. It's my pleasure, my honor to introduce Amy Atchley.
Good evening, Sonoma State Education Class of 2017. Greetings, esteemed faculty. Welcome to our friends and families, and thank you for joining us today in recognition of the beginning of a new chapter of our lives. A very famous mutant ninja turtle once said, "I saw the angel in the marble, and I carved until I set him free, sorry, that's the quote. It was Michelangelo. He said, "Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it." I did not know that turtle was a sculptor too. I thought he was just a superpowered mutant turtle. So 4 years ago, I met a boy. Jack had trouble communicating because of a disability. He knew what he wanted to say, but something in between his brain and his speech muscles blocked his language from coming out. It's called apraxia of speech. He was 5 years old, and with 2.5 years of speech therapy, this boy could say 2 words. His family decided to teach him sign language, and they hired me to help. After meeting with this boy one time, I could see that he was trapped. He was frustrated, and he was struggling. And I could see that this kid had the potential to communicate, even if speech was difficult for him. During his individual education program meeting, the administrator said if he learns to sign, he will never learn to talk. But after working with him for 6 months, he knew over 1,000 signs, and his speech had increased from 2 words to 500. His language had gone from that of a 12-month-old to that of a 3-year-old in 6 months. When he got a taste of communication, he was naturally reinforced to keep trying. He is now approaching grade level for language and academics, and best of all, he's a happy kid. I'm sure many of you know who Annie Sullivan is. Many of you remember Helen Keller. She was a famous social activist who was also deaf and blind. Well, Annie Sullivan was her teacher. They made a movie about her. It's called The Miracle Worker. Many people think that movie is about Helen Keller, but actually the title character is Annie Sullivan. The most famous scene in the movie is where, through Annie's daily consistency, Helen finally learns the sign for water. Through my experience with Jack, I realized that the miracle that Annie Sullivan performed was always keeping Helen's potential in her sights. All she did was see Helen's potential every day. She saw the angel in the marble, and she set her free. As teachers, this miracle is our job. Our job is to give all the students opportunities to discover their own abilities. Our job is to create a safe place where they can let those opportunities in. Doing this, we chip away at the marble. As Annie Sullivan has said, children require guidance and sympathy far more than instruction. In our society, teachers don't get a lot of money or respect or social status or sleep. But what we do get, I'll tell you a secret, but you can't tell anyone. What we do get are superpowers, like Michelangelo, right? The superpowered turtle. We have the superpower of X-ray vision. We can see the angel in the marble. That's why we're all here, right? No? Some of us are in it for the money? We also have the superpower to change the future. Teachers are the keystone of democracy. We are the guides for the future voters and the future leaders of America. So as we guide them to think rather than memorize, as we model ways to peacefully resolve conflict and respectfully accept differences, we are actually sculpting the future. No pressure. Public school teachers teach 90% of students in the US, and each one of those students wants to be seen for who they are. They each have a unique potential, just like we do. And the more we can interact with that potential, the more likely they are to live up to it. Before I drop the mic, I'd like to say thank you. I came to Sonoma State a skeptic, ready to infiltrate the education system from within. And today I exit knowing that we have a shared mission to sculpt the future, one angel at a time. Thanks to Dr. Sandy Ayala for introducing us to universal design for learning, which means we can use technology to make content accessible to everyone. I'm grateful to Jane McDonough for showing me what cognitive dissonance is. If you don't know what that is, look it up, it's awesome. Because I often say, that's my superpower. Thank you to Dr. Madavi for your personal support and your commitment to a constructivist model of education. And to Brent Jackson, who blew my mind this year by making math fun, social, creative, engaging, and productive. Thank you and congratulations to the newest superhero class of teachers at Sonoma State. Special Ed represent.